Hi folks, this is activity LT01 and the plan is to create a mechanism as shown here where a mannequin is turning the handle. Dimensions are not important and the, the, the complete detail of how the mannequin is grabbing this is not important either, but I'll do my best so that the mannequin's hand is actually holding this handle, okay? So let's go ahead and here start with the product file. Immediately we save it. File, save management, save as. I have a folder here. Let me see for a second. I have a folder called Mechanism Design March 17, and this is activity LT01, right? So I'll make this thing LT01. And yeah, and then we say okay. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is to go to human builder. So we go to ergonomics design and analysis, a human builder, and I'm going to get a mannequin, insert a new mannequin. The father product is that product. There's only one product here, and I'm going to make it a woman, 50 percentile. And as far as the options, well, we'll make it Canadian. Whole body, we're gonna, it's fine. And H point is the somewhere in the hip area, so that's fine. Any one of these would have worked. Doesn't matter. There we are. Now I want this thing to be in the sitting position. So there is the posture editor. Let me select the whole mannequin, posture editor, and we're gonna have it in the sitting position. Sit. Okay. Close. All right. Now that we have the sizes, we're going to go to the product, assembly design. All right. So we're going to make the box where she's going to be standing on. So insert a new part in there. And notice that the sitting position, because I chose the H, because I chose the H position, the sitting position is in this area. In other words, the coordinate system, the global coordinate system is in the hip area. So I'm going to call this thing uh, uh, chair or bench and bench. Okay, let's go make it. Double click on it. And on a convenient plane on that vertical plane, I will sketch. Let me turn this thing around. All right, something that looks like a bench. Okay, where is the rectangle here? Let me actually do the following. Exit. And I'm going to pad this thing. Mirror extent. And then we're going to make a cutout here on that face, on that plane. We'll sketch. Okay, something that looks like that. Exit. And then make a pocket. Let me, on this side, this is fine on that side, but on this side, I can go to more and make it a little bit more like so. Yeah. Okay. There we are. Now, remember there's going to be a handle here and this lady is going to be turning it. So on that face, I will sketch a little circle somewhere there. Exit and pocket that. Okay. So now we're going to make the crank. So all the way to the top, insert a new part. I'll say no. And I'm going to call this thing the crank. Properties crank. Crank and crank. Okay. Let's make it. It's very simple. Why don't I make it on that face? On that face, I will sketch. Okay, why don't I project that circle? Project that circle. Good. Okay. And then we can make a pocket out or a pad out of that. So exit, pad. Let's make it longer. So that's going to go on the other side. Why don't I change the color of that? Maybe make it orange. Okay, now on that face, we'll sketch. I'm going to hide the mannequin. Well, we'll sketch something like this. How about one of these guys? Fine. Exit and pad it. That's too much, maybe 0.2. All right. Make it 0.5 so that we can see it better. Good. And on that face, we'll sketch a little circle, and that's going to be padded where the handle is going to go in. So, for example, something like that. Exit, pad it. Let me. Good. So what you see here is essentially that piece, something like that. Actually, that's on the wrong spot though. The circle is on the wrong spot. So let's go. Let me go back here. That sketch. Let me move this thing to the other side. Look, exit. There we are. All right, then we're going to have the, this is the crank. We're going to see the handle. So insert a new part. We'll call it handle. And handle. This is the part name. The other one is the instance name. Okay, good. Let's make it. So, for example, on that face, I will sketch maybe I should project that to minimize my work. There we are. And then on it, I'm going to draw another circle, which we're going to make it, of course, concentric. So this control that. Make it concentric. All right. And then exit. And we'll pad it in the other direction up to that plane, up to this plane. And we say, okay, I'm going to change the color of that too. So right click properties, graphics, I'll make it yellow. So basically what you see here is this piece. Okay, good. Let's go back all the way to the top and we save everything. Now the mannequin is in hiding. I can bring it into the show mode, the cursor there. All right. So here's the situation. What I'm going to do is, for example, I want to make this thing a little bit bigger, that handle a little bit bigger, and this thing taller. So these are too small. Just doesn't look good. That's all. So let's go. Let's go here first of all to this piece, which was yeah, it was that piece. Make that thing a little bit taller. Maybe make it 2.5. Maybe even longer. 3. Okay, good. And then we go to this piece. First of all, make it a little bit thicker. So that circle, make it a little bit thicker. Exit. And then make it also 3. Let's see. 3. Oh, the other way. Cancel that. Actually, let me see. Reverse direction. Maybe I give it dimension. That's better. 2. I see. I drew that sketch on that face. That's why it looks like this. So flip it. And problem is that because of what I did, I may have to change this. Yeah, that's fine. 1.5. Made my life harder by doing that. And this should not go to that plane. I should say by plane, and for the plane, I will be using that. Okay. All right, that's good. Excellent. Now, the different ways of doing this thing, and one of them is, for example, I can turn this, I save everything here, save everything before we do anything else. I go to the human builder, and use the forward kinematics. So forward kinematics on this, but I want to rotate this handle. Okay, so if you right click here, you see that this is degree of freedom 1. So let's go to degree of freedom 3. You see this? Handle, turn it like that. Good. And now lift it up, because I have to put this thing in the vicinity of that guy. So select this, right click, degree of freedom 1, and I can lift it up. Yeah. Okay, very good. We're almost there to have her grab that, but the only thing is that, or I want to do is I want to transfer this a little, translate a little bit to the left or to the right. So, for example, like move her to the right. So, what I'm going to do is I will go to the product, right there, product, select the mannequin, put the cursor somewhere on it, and drag it a little bit. Very good. Okay. So you're done with this fellow. Now, if you look at this toolbar, which says right there. Mannequin handle or hand. You can grab things which are spherical in shape or cylindrical. Let's try cylindrical. You click on that and you select this object, and then you select the palm of her hand. Okay, and then date. There we are. Now, if it doesn't look good, we can move things around. So let me undo this, Control Z, because this kind of doesn't look good. Control Z. Okay. Uh, maybe we will move this thing down a little bit. Okay, because it's too far probably. So let's do it. Let's bring it down. Forward kinematics. And we're going to select this forward kinematic. We turn it up. Basically, you have to fool around with it until you're happy. You're happy. Okay. So now we're going to do grab that with the palm of your hand, and let's do an update. Okay. All right. We notice that you can move things around. For example, with forward kinematics, you can move this finger and that finger until you're happy with it. That's really not what you're doing here. Okay. Uh, here. Better? Kind of. Scary, but better. Now, here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach this hand to that object, to that handle. Okay, so let's see now how we do it. Okay, make sure that this forward kinematics is not selected. Okay, so and then there's a clip here. It says fix on constraint. So you select the palm of the hand here, or as close as you want, and then you select that red or is it the yellow piece, and then so what that does is creates a constraint, fixed constraint between that yellow piece and the palm of this. Okay, very good. We're almost done. Now we go to the product. We have to create the constraints here. So let's go to the product here. Change assembly. Go to assembly design. Let us create a revolute joint between this piece and the bench, and between a revolute between the yellow piece and the crank. So we coincidence between this piece like that piece, okay, and a coincidence between this plane and the plane that we just hit. We bring this in the front. The plane behind this. Okay, so notice that I selected that. Okay, and I want to select the back face, this face of the face of this. I can hide the chair, or I can select that one. It's going to be revolute with an offset. Okay, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so I can select this gray piece that I have already done, and the back of this orange piece over there, or the top of the orange piece, and that becomes revolute joint with an offset. Whatever is convenient. So let me hide this thing so that there. Is that better? Okay. And now a revolute between this and the yellow piece. So coincidence between let me select let me hide that. This is the axis of the yellow piece, And I want the axis of, let me hide that, this axis, and coincidence between that plane and this plane. You say, okay, let's bring everything in the front. That's going to be another revolute. Okay, good. So go back there. Okay. So there's going to be two revolute joints. We'll see what happens. Okay. So we go all the way to the product. Let's anchor the seat. Anchor the seat. All right. So we go to digital markup, DMU kinematics, get the magic wand out. A new mechanism is going to be auto create two revolute joints. Now, with two revolute joints, you have 2 degrees of freedom. So what I can do is I can assume that this is rigidly attached to that. Okay, so to turn it into basically 1 degree of freedom system. So we're going to go to create a joint ourselves. And notice that because of what we're doing, essentially this would have been one piece, one part. I could have done it if I knew that I had to do this, then I could have created this thing as a single part, the yellow piece and the orange piece being a single part. But that's fine. We can rigidly attach them together. So the yellow and the orange, they're rigidly attached. That's fine. And if it's bothering you, you can delete the one that's already there. Okay, it says there is a handle there, there's a revolute there. That's what it was complaining. You could have deleted that between the crank and the handle. I can delete this, or I can leave it the way it is. It's not going to bother me. Now, degree of freedom is 1. We're going to make this revolute angle driven. And we say, okay, mechanism can be simulated. Let's check it out. Now, you see, obviously, because of the way the angle, the angles, the position of the mannequin, this is not a realistic one. You can see that it makes sense. I mean, but the joint, the way this is positioned, think about it. Can you do that? I mean, think about it. Just try to do it yourself. If you were that close to that wall, there's no way you could have done this. Okay, so you see. Now, when this green dot turns into red, means that physically it's impossible to do it. But anyway, at least for small angles, this is correct. Otherwise, this is very painful. All right. It shouldn't bother you that an obstruction here because I can make a cutout here. But thing is that physically it's impossible for the shoulder to reach that kind of an angle. But we have done it. This is the activity. Okay. All right. Good. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and stop this.